The quiet storm is a metaphor for a kind of power that often goes unnoticed in a world obsessed with noise and spectacle. It is the kind of strength that doesn't need to announce itself with fanfare or aggression because it exists in its very essence. There's an undeniable allure to someone who can wield power without resorting to intimidation or force. This isn't just about how you move through the world, it's about who you are at your core. A person who understands that the most profound impact is often made with quiet determination rather than loud declarations. In life, we are often told that success demands we shout our worth from the rooftops, that we dominate every room we walk into, and that the measure of our strength lies in how much we can take from the world. But consider this: the ocean doesn't need to prove its depth, and the wind doesn't seek applause for its power. They simply exist, profoundly affecting everything around them without ever asking for recognition. Similarly, quiet strength is about being so rooted in your purpose and your values that your very presence shifts the dynamics of a room. It's not about taking up space. It's about making every moment and every action count. There is a kind of dignity in gentleness, a resilience that doesn't break under pressure, but bends gracefully to adapt and emerge stronger. This is not weakness disguised as virtue. It is the recognition that gentleness, when paired with resolve, is a force to be reckoned with. Think of the most inspiring people you know. Odds are they didn't shout their way to influence. They listened, they observed, they acted with precision and intention. Soft is stronger than hard. Water is stronger than rock, the philosopher Lao Tzu reminds us. Silence is stronger than words. The quiet storm embodies this truth. It moves with purpose, not haste. It builds momentum through persistence, not aggression. Being fierce yet gentle is not an easy balance to strike, and perhaps that's why it's so powerful. To be fierce means to have an unrelenting commitment to your goals, to approach challenges with courage, and to refuse to be deterred by failure or fear. To be gentle, on the other hand, requires patience, understanding, and a deep respect for others and for yourself. When these two qualities coexist, they create a kind of alchemy that is both rare and transformative. It's a reminder that true strength is not about overpowering others, but about mastering yourself. Unstoppability isn't always dramatic. It's the daily showing up, the small decisions that align with your larger purpose, and the willingness to embrace discomfort in pursuit of growth. It's the realization that you don't need to have all the answers to take the next step. You just need the courage to take it. And here's the thing about courage. It's not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. Courage whispers when fear screams. It is the quiet storm within you, urging you to move forward even when the path is uncertain. The world is full of distractions, and it's easy to get caught up in the noise, the opinions of others, the pressure to conform, the temptation to chase superficial markers of success. But the quiet storm doesn't seek validation from external sources. It knows that the only approval worth having is your own. This kind of self-assuredness isn't arrogance. It's a deep understanding of your worth and your potential. It's about knowing that you don't need to compete with anyone else because your journey is yours alone. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, comparison is the thief of joy. The quiet storm refuses to let anyone steal its joy or its focus. This approach to life doesn't just benefit you, it inspires those around you. People are drawn to authenticity, to those who move through the world with confidence and grace. They see the quiet storm not as a threat, but as a source of strength and inspiration. When you lead with integrity and kindness, you give others permission to do the same. You create a ripple effect, proving that it's possible to succeed without compromising your values or your humanity. Of course, this path is not without its challenges. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the noise of the world feels overwhelming, and when the temptation to conform is strong. But it's in these moments that the quiet storm is most needed. It's in these moments that you must remind yourself why you started, what you stand for, and what you're working toward. Remember that the storm doesn't give up when it meets resistance. It finds a way around it, through it, or over it. And so must you. It's also important to acknowledge that gentleness doesn't mean avoiding conflict or staying silent in the face of injustice. Quite the opposite. The quiet storm knows when to speak up and when to act, but it does so with intention rather than impulse. It understands that true power is not in tearing others down, but in lifting them up. It's about finding solutions, building bridges, and creating lasting change. As the writer James Baldwin once said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." The quiet storm faces challenges head-on, not with aggression, but with clarity and determination. In the end, being a quiet storm is about living in alignment with your values and your purpose. It's about recognizing that your strength doesn't come from how loud you are or how much attention you attract, but from the impact you make and the lives you touch. It's about understanding that success is not a destination, but a journey, a series of choices that reflect who you are and who you aspire to be. So embrace your quiet strength. Be fierce in your pursuit of what matters, but gentle in your approach. Move with purpose, not haste. Trust that you don't need to shout to be heard or to fight to be seen. You are the quiet storm, a force of nature, unstoppable in your resolve and unforgettable in your grace. Let the world feel your presence, not through noise, but through the profound and lasting impact of your actions. She is the quiet storm, a force of nature that commands attention, not through noise or aggression, but through grace and strength. In a world that often equates power with volume and dominance, her presence is a reminder that true influence is rarely about how much space you take up, but about how deeply you move through it. This is the power of subtlety, of intention, of an unstoppable force clothed in elegance. She doesn't fight for recognition, nor does she demand it. Her power is in her being, her actions, and her unwavering resolve. There's something profoundly moving about a person who can combine fierceness with gentleness, who can be both unstoppable in their pursuit and graceful in their approach. To watch such a person is to witness a paradox in motion, a quiet storm capable of reshaping everything in its path without ever losing its poise. Strength is not always about exertion. It is often about persistence. It's about moving forward despite resistance, about weathering storms without being consumed by them. As Viktor Frankl once said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. She doesn't avoid challenges, she transforms through them, demonstrating that strength and grace are not opposites but partners. Gentleness is not weakness, though many mistake it for such. It takes an extraordinary level of courage and self-control to remain kind in a world that can be cruel. It's easy to lash out, to match force with force, but it takes real strength to choose compassion when faced with adversity. This gentleness doesn't come from a place of passivity, but from a deep understanding of what it means to be human. It's about recognizing the fragility in others and in ourselves and still choosing to uplift rather than tear down. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, in a gentle way, you can shake the world. She shakes the world not with aggression, but with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing her worth and her purpose. Her fierceness, on the other hand, is not loud or brash. It is deliberate. It is rooted in a commitment to her values, her goals, and her vision for a better future. Fierceness is not about being unyielding. It's about being unrelenting in pursuit of what matters. It's about having the courage to stand firm when it would be easier to back down, to speak truth when silence would be more comfortable. There's a quiet defiance in her actions, a refusal to accept mediocrity or injustice, a willingness to push forward even when the path is unclear. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, wrote Mark Twain. She doesn't deny fear, she confronts it, masters it, and moves forward in spite of it. Unstoppable does not mean invincible. She stumbles, she falters, she feels the weight of doubt and the pull of exhaustion. But what makes her unstoppable is not an absence of struggle. It is her refusal to stay down. She rises again and again, each time stronger, each time more determined. Resilience is her hallmark, and it is born from a deep well of purpose. She knows that her journey is not just for herself, but for those she inspires along the way. Her actions are a testament to the power of persistence, to the truth that progress is made not in leaps, but in small, consistent steps. It always seems impossible until it's done, said Nelson Mandela. She makes the impossible possible by simply refusing to quit. Her strength lies not only in her ability to keep moving forward, but also in her ability to carry others with her. She is a builder of bridges, a mender of wounds, a light in the darkness. Her gentleness allows her to connect deeply with others, to see beyond the surface and into their hearts. She understands that true power is not about domination, but about service. It's about lifting others as you climb, about creating a legacy, not of fear, but of hope. She knows that the greatest leaders are not those who demand loyalty, but those who inspire it. As Maya Angelou wrote, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." She makes people feel seen, valued, and capable of more than they ever imagined. Her mission is to help people feel seen, valued, and capable of more than they ever imagined. The world needs more quiet storms. It needs people who can be both fierce and gentle, who can stand firm in their convictions while remaining open to growth and change. It needs people who understand that success is not about how loudly you proclaim your achievements, but about how deeply you impact the lives of others. It needs people who are willing to do the hard work of self-mastery, who are unafraid to confront their own flaws and weaknesses in the pursuit of becoming better. The quiet storm embodies all of this. She is a beacon of what what is possible when strength and grace coexist. Her journey is not easy, and it is not meant to be. Growth is born from struggle, and strength is forged in the fires of adversity. But she does not fear the challenges ahead. She knows that each obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to become more than she was before. She embraces the discomfort of growth, knowing that it is the price of progress. As Frederick Douglass once said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress." She moves through struggle with the grace of a dancer and the determination of a warrior, never losing sight of the vision that drives her forward. The quiet storm is a force that cannot be ignored, not because it demands attention, but because its impact is undeniable. It is a reminder that true strength does not need to shout to be heard, that true power is not about controlling others, but about mastering oneself. It is a call to rise above the noise and chaos of the world, to move with purpose and intention, to be both fierce and gentle, unstoppable and graceful. She is the quiet storm, and her legacy is one of transformation, of lives changed, of barriers broken, of a world made better by her presence. She proves that success is not about the size of your voice, but the depth of your character. She teaches us that it is possible to be strong without being harsh, to be determined without being ruthless, to be powerful without losing our humanity. And in doing so, she challenges us all to be more than we thought we could be. She is a quiet storm, and her influence will be felt long after the winds have passed.